Yo, 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 everyone in chat, what is up? I'm gonna say this out loud so I don't forget. We are coming up on our almost 1 year. It was like the first week of August. We did our. I thought we did this. I didn't know we did this last year. I thought it was 2 years ago, but who knows with COVID. Last year we did our tier list, our esports tier list for 2020. So
Oh,
maybe we can do that here in the near future. I just wanted to plant the seed and say it out loud so I don't forget.
try to think of how much has changed, if
I mean,
anything
not
at
a
all.
whole lot, but maybe if we look at the list, it will make us think of it, you know?
Yeah.
It'll be more interesting because this will be like a full on kind of COVID thought of it, you know?
Yeah.
Because before it was like Valorant had just came out, really. Because if we did it in August, Valorant would have only been around for a month or so. Which I still think we gave it an S tier, an A tier at least. I don't know. I'll have to go back. I don't necessarily remember what the list was.
Like, if anything, it's moving up one spot,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, if it's not an S tier last year, it will be this year. So, anywho, that will give us a show to talk about though here in the next couple of weeks. We can do that on like a Wednesday or something. A little something, something. Um. All right, all right, all right, all right. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, yeah, we are
Still haven't
good.
announced a release date for Ninja Turtles, Tim, and it says 2021.
No month though, no day.
No month.
That's one where we have to get with our wives and be like, "Hey, listen, like
I
we."
just need enough notice to grab it from my sister.
Well, it's also on PC though. Check Steam.
Oh, is it?
I wonder if Steam. Let's open this bad boy up before we start. Because if we can get it on Steam, we obviously want Steam, right?
100%.
Oh, Steam has their summer sale going on. I think I knew that.
Yeah. I don't know, we talked about how shitty it was last time.
Yeah. The only thing I might go and buy are like DC, like downloadable content. Like that's like, you know, like for like the racing games or something. Like okay, I'll get a track pack or I'll go get this. But yeah, there's no. Literally, we have Battlefield and Halo coming out.
Damn, it is on Steam. Okay, add to wish list.
Yeah, yeah, it's been on my wish list. That's how I knew it. When's this summer sale end? July 8th. All right, perfect. Coming soon. It doesn't have a date yet on Steam. That'll be a stream one. Like we'll have to actually like make time to say, okay, let's play and
That'll be a
stream this
good one.
bitch. All right, cool. Cool beans, bro. Cool beans. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Hello and what is up? Welcome to episode 340 of the Centering Esports podcast presented by Alt. And this is going to be the best episode ever. It is America's birthday. Happy 4th of July. And also back to back because we skipped an episode last week. So this week we have back to back Yikes of the week. And you might be thinking, guys, there's possibly no way you could do back-to-back Yikes of the week, and that's where you're wrong, because there are plenty to get to, even some submitted by you, the listener, on Discord. And also a little update on VCT, as we've already had some big upsets as we head into the Challenger 1 playoff stage, if you want to call it that. I don't know what the official name is, but, you know, something like that. And a little bit of e-news to end the show with as well. But before we get to any of that, let me tell you about the show's sponsor in Alt Esports, ultesports.com. Stop what you're doing. Go there right now. Pick yourself up a 101 Burglars hoodie brought to you by your very own TCR boys. You can also get yourself some Sentinel gear as they look to not have missed a step in VCT so you can get ready for when they have to go to the major yet again, and you won't look like a bandwagoner this time because you went to altesports.com and picked yourself up some official Sentinels merch, as they are the official partners with Alt, providing you the best esports apparel under the stars, under the sun, in space. Altesports.com.
Hey, I'm Simon 1G, and you guys are listening to The Center Ring.
Okay, so let's start.
Hello, everybody. Hello and welcome. Welcome back to another edition of The Center Ring, aka TCR, aka your favorite esports podcast, presented by Alt, episode 340, coming to you live and or pre-recorded from an undisclosed location. The date, July 4th, 2021. The time, 9:38 p.m. Central Time. We are putting in holiday work hours. Time and a half is what we are getting paid right now. So if we're doing the math, 0 times a half, we're making pretty good money here, Anuj.
It's coming in quick.
What is 0 times itself and a half? Someone do the math. And
dedication. That's what it is.
That's what we're getting paid right now. But it is the 4th of July. So I know we said we weren't going to do a show, but lo and behold, you can't stop us from doing the work. We're just work horses. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter at The Center Ring. That way you'll know if we weren't going to do a show and then secretly said, nope, psych, we are going to do a show last minute. You would never have known that unless you do two things. Follow us on Twitter at The Center Ring and join our Discord. The link is in the description of said Twitter. My name is Tim. I'll be your captain for this journey into esports. And alongside me, as always, is my best friend, my brown friend. It's Anuj. What's up?
Yo, and just so the listeners know, Tim, this is easy. It's the Champions Tour North America Stage 3 Challengers 1 playoffs. Okay? So just so we're all clear, and there's no confusion on this show, Champions Tour North America Stage 3 Challengers 1 main event. It's actually what it is.
Main event.
Playoffs.
Because there is
Main
Challengers playoffs, but don't get that confused. Although this is like the playoffs for Challenger 1, there is a Challengers playoff where challengers from the North American Tour Challengers 1 main event and event 2 matchup, and that is the playoffs. So if everyone has their flow chart proper, there you have it.
And you don't need it. We're about to break it down for you.
So we will, and we're official, and we will only refer to this event as its proper name. So every time we say it, we will always mention it as the Valorant Champions Tour 2021 North American Stage 3 Challengers 1 main event. Maybe we can figure out a way to shorten that one there, Riot. Maybe. I felt like this was one of those things where they said they just put it there as a placeholder and told themselves, we'll get back to it. We'll think of something fancy. We'll think of something witty in esports to call it, and we'll get back to it. And it just never did.
I'm trying to think of something with just like the first letters of each of them, and I'm not coming up with something creative, unfortunately, fast enough.
The VCT, COVID doesn't help because nowadays you always have to throw in like where it's at as well. Like even like if it was like back in the day, it wasn't just like, oh, it's Cologne. No, it's like Cologne EU, Cologne NA. You always have to break it down.
Yeah.
Now you always
gotta throw in the region.
Yeah, it can't just be Stage 3 Challengers 1 again. It's nope. North American Stage 3 Challenge 1s of the Valorant Champions Tour 2021.
To be fair to them, they'll still do regional. Even
because I think the whole point of this is supposed to be more or
to
less like World Cup
from
right?
region to region, right? So like you have all the regions competing against each other at the end. So they'll still break it down by region, still have the same type of qualifiers and whatnot.
So there you have it. And we'll talk about that, some more of the upsets and everything that happened with the VCT Challengers, Stage 3 Challengers 1 so far, as we're heading into the main event. But first, happy birthday, America. Happy July 4th. Anuj, it's like we're an official, it's like I'm back in my old days working in broadcast radio, working on a holiday. This, to me, is comfortable. Like,
this is our Sandlot.
yeah, like working at home, you know, but on a holiday, like working on a holiday, that's just like another day for me.
I love it.
We're used to it.
You know what, though? This is the equivalent of you and me going out to the baseball field and throwing the ball around.
It really is. It really is.
It's the same thing.
And most people are saying, like, guys, you know, you've done 340 episodes of this. You make next to no money. If anything, we've spent and lost money doing this podcast over the years. You know, why are you still doing it? And it truly is for the women, you know,
Obviously.
just line up at the door. First of all, they don't care that we don't
WAP everywhere.
Yeah, it's just the titty streamers in the esports podcasting game. You wouldn't even understand how many there are. It's just embarrassing. And number two is because we would literally be doing this even without the podcast. Like, we would just be talking esports anyway. So why not just fire up the microphones and
maybe not all of them, but we would be talking esports.
yeah. Overwatch would probably not get brought up nearly as much, but there is, you know, enough oofs and
to
yikes.
be fair, the amount we talk about it now on the show is probably the amount we talked about it in real life.
This is true. So America does turn 245 years old today. Did you do anything special?
I used my smoker for the first time today.
How'd it turn out? How'd those ribs turn out?
Awesome. Turned out, I was very, very proud for my first time. I'm not going to lie. So it turned out real good. Went over to the in-laws' house and, you know, ate, swam, lit off some fireworks in their backyard. And yesterday, our pretty little town over here hosted a 4th of July event a day early and had a bunch of food trucks out and live music. So went and sat and enjoyed that for a few hours. But yeah, it's been a good weekend, man. Can't complain. How about yourself?
For the most part, the same. Went to the in-laws. I have come to terms with, because between my kids, which is 2 of them, and because I went over to my in-laws, so there's 3 sets of adult couples there, because me, my wife, and then her brother and sister and their respective family. 7 kids under the age of, I think, 4. The oldest might be 5.
Oh, man.
It's chaos. It's screaming, crying. We went swimming and everything like that, but it's just like there is no relaxing going on.
Do they all at least keep each other entertained for a decent amount of time?
They're not at that stage yet, because at the same time, they're not at that stage in life where you can just let them do anything without worrying about are they trying to murder each other right now? And then one's crying. You're like, why are you crying? And they're like, because he took the stuffed animal. And you're like, Jesus
Is there
Christ.
a bully in the group?
Yeah, 100%. Oh, 100%. I won't name names here, but there is definitely a bully. My nephew is definitely the bully of the group. And there have been times as a parent, and maybe any parent can relate to this, like when I see him push my son, I immediately want to hip check my nephew right into the boards. I don't care that you're 2 years old, kid. I will power slam you right now if you touch my kid like that again. I don't care if you don't know what you're doing. I don't care if you're cousins and you're rough out. I will put you through the table.
At Hudson's birthday, there was a kid that was in his bullying stage of life right now, and I'm going to assume that'll go away at some point.
You would hope. Maybe not. Maybe he'll be in
Maybe
prison.
Maybe not. Hudson went and tapped him on the shoulder. This kid turned around like Floyd Mayweather and threw a right hook. I was like, what just happened? My heart kind of dropped because I know Hudson was going up there and just being sweet and wanting to play and looking at they're on a water table or whatever, and this kid just turns around and fires a right hook, and Hudson looked at him like, bro, what the was that just about? Why did you do that?
You can tell which kids go to daycare and learn on the street of hard knocks. Like,
For real.
like they know prison rules compared to the kids that don't go to daycare. All the spoiled kids and their silver spoons that don't have to worry about sharing. These kids are like, touch my water table. No, so look, it was a fun day. No complaints on my side. I just can't wait till the kids get a little older, obviously, because with 7 of them and more on the way, it's a madhouse. It truly is a madhouse. We didn't do any public fireworks either. God bless you for fighting through those crowds.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't do public fireworks. We did them in my father-in-law's back. They have such a big
Well, no,
backyard.
didn't you say you went to our city's fireworks?
No, that was like the city like festival that they did. They didn't do fireworks yesterday. They
Okay,
did
but the
fireworks
crowds weren't
today.
bad.
Oh, they did them last night at like 9:30 or something. We didn't stay that late. We were there for like
Oh,
3
I feel
hours
you.
during the
I
day.
feel you. I feel
Yeah.
you. Okay, I'm picking up what
Yeah.
you're dropping now. No,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
and
no,
even
we were
now,
there. We were there for like the live music, the food trucks, face painting, things like that. But the fireworks were beyond
have to
our
wait.
bedtime.
We have to wait to do public stuff. I really don't want to deal with my 2 kids in the public area. It's hard to
Can I tell you
backhand
the
them.
hot new item? This is dad talk. This podcast has just shifted, ladies and gentlemen. So enjoy where this is going. The hot item for families of 2. This is what I picked up yesterday. Is like a little cart that they both sit in.
A wagon
It's
thing.
not. It's like a wagon. It's got a little cover that like
Yep.
props up, so it's like almost like a tent. They had ones that had like flea nets on it or like mosquito
Oh yeah,
nets
they
or
get up.
whatever.
They get up there. Some
And I was
underlighting.
like, damn, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
All the kids were just like sitting in them. They had their snacks. I was like, all right, I see where this is going.
When
I
kid
see
number
what I need
2
to
gets
do.
older to sit up on his own, we're definitely investing in one of those.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, Shep's fine, but Clyde needs to be a
He
little
needs
bit
to be
bigger
able to defend himself when Shep decides to turn it into the Battle Dome. So we just have to plan for that. But no, overall, I hope everyone else had a good 4th of July. Good long weekend. We got tomorrow off, which is always awesome when the holiday leads into the actual real holiday. The holiday everyone actually cares about, the day off of work. Right?
Oh yeah, that's the big day.
Awesome. I hear the fireworks going on outside my house right now. Very
It's the reason the
patriotic.
show is pushed up a day, is we both have tomorrow off. And we're
Yeah.
like, you know what? It'd be nice just to do nothing all day.
Just knock it out. Get it out of the way.
Mhm.
Speaking of knocking it out, let's knock this show out. And let's deliver the #1 esports podcast that the people expect from us. Let's get into some Yikes of the Week. Because as I said, we did Yikes of the Week last episode. So normally it's like, what are we going to do for Yikes of the Week? But thank you to some listeners on Twitter and in our Discord for submitting some. And also just esports in general for always delivering the Yikes. Because it is unbelievable how esports never fails to deliver. Anuj, let me start with this one because I almost feel like if we hear it all the time, like, guys, you used to talk Overwatch a lot more. Like, whatever happened to the Overwatch League? You don't talk about it as much. We could rebrand this segment into a weekly Overwatch segment.
It is a pretty good breakdown.
Like, for people who say we don't talk Overwatch, you clearly don't listen to Yikes of the Week enough because it's almost like clockwork. We are expected to talk about Overwatch League or to some extent Overwatch in this. Anuj, it has been broken by Jacob Wolf and their friends over at the Dot? Esports Dot? What outlet is he working for nowadays?
No, I thought it was like something like Overwatch. What was it? No,
Look it up. It's Jacob
not.
Wolf, though. I'll get the guy right. I don't know where he works. I don't need to know that. That's not my business. Anyway, so he broke the story that the Justice Department is now looking into the Overwatch League over their soft salary cap and its competitive balance tax. Now, I have heard, or just through reading, it's not like necessarily like legal. Like they're not investigating them in the sense of like they're going to go and like seize their computers and tax documents and people are getting arrested over this. I have a feeling, and from what I've read through just articles and comments from people that I've never met a day in my life, but I would trust them with everything I own, that this isn't completely uncommon to happen, like especially for like leagues and things like that where a lot of money is exchanging hands. So I don't know what to think about it. I've read the article. I've read other articles on this. I won't lie to you. My brain does not compute exactly what it's even about. but it's never good when the Justice Department is looking into anything.
Yeah, or I mean, just in general, this being the headline for, like, this is the type of news that you get for Overwatch League nowadays, right? It's not like it's just not like they get publicity for the game anymore. And
No.
that's kind of the yikes that we run into with Overwatch is either the news is if it's game related, it's generally a bad update or an update that's being complained about at the time. Um, and if it's anything else, it's generally just negative press because of something that's going on with the league or teams trying to sell off or whatever situation. So
They
just
desperately need Overwatch 2 to come out. Like right
yeah,
now.
like real bad. Like I bet. I mean, they're all. I think players also, right? Not just team owners and fans, but I think even players at this point just got to be just ready for the next iteration of this game.
Yeah, it's just we need like you said, we need some positive vibes, some good news coming out of Overwatch League, one that does not involve some type of legal action or people complaining, or maybe both. Maybe both. Anuj, what is one of yours?
We're gonna go with the lesser of the two because we'll save the other one for next here. We got LA Gorillas, Tim. They were recently scrimming for just getting some practice in as they normally do. They were scrimming against their academy team, which recently had a lot of drama because Cheen got dropped down to the academy roster when he was probably the best or one of the best performers on that team consistently recently, and he also had to work his way up into that role. It's not like he was handed a spot, and so they recently demoted him and put shit, what's his name, Tim? The guy coming from Gears of War. Drawing a blank on his name right now. Anyways, he's the one that got moved up, and they had put some money into him um, to get him from Gears of War to come and be on the academy team. They moved him up to the main roster, dropped Sheen down. They were scrimming. Academy team beat them 8-0 in scrims. Not a good look, it's just tough. I'm sure days like that happen. I'm sure they do. Like I'm
Maybe
not going to sit
maybe you're
here and
like,
say your
maybe you're
academy
trying
team should
something new.
never win.
Maybe
They're
you're
probably
trying
pretty good,
something new.
right?
Are you thinking of Mental? Is that who you were thinking of?
Mental. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe they're trying something new. You never know.
I mean, they are. It's just like 8-0. It couldn't have gone any worse. I think it was being streamed. It's just one of those things where it's going to be hard because Sheen is so vocal about being upset about being dropped that this is going to get stirred up more than the traditional, like, oh, our academy team beat our main roster in a scrim.
Doesn't help either that LA Gorillas are kind of like the meme team of the league as well. Like, it's almost like when they win, people are happy for them, but in the sense that you're happy that you ruffle their hair and say good job, sport, not in a way of like.
To be fair, they've been better at this. This was like last year, they were the laughing stock, right?
Yeah.
Like it was just so bad. They have been slightly better this year, but continue to be, fall short majority of the time.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. One of my other yikes comes from the land of Apex Legends. If you have tried playing Apex in the last day, unfortunately, you did not spend America's birthday playing it, as Apex Legends was hacked. Not a wave of hackers are in Apex Legends. No, no, no. I did not say people were aimbotting or had an issue. No, no. Apex Legends was hacked. the actual game itself was hacked. If you went in, you saw this nice little blurb in there from the Save Titanfall brigade, right? I don't know if it's one person, if it's multiple people, whoever, but the Save Titanfall group. Obviously, Apex Legends being a spin-off of Titanfall, which I don't even know how many people would know that, but it is. It's from the same Titanfall universe. Has been completely, though, like if you're a Titanfall fan, completely you're the redheaded stepchild. You are completely ignored in the eyes of EA and
Not even that,
Respawn.
they've killed you. You're not even like a child that they still have. Like they've literally gotten rid of you. You have been pushed aside. You were dropped off at the doorstep somewhere. Like They want nothing to do with you. So yeah, this community is obviously outraged because of the support that Apex gets. So what did they do? They just took over the damn game, like literally controlled the game and shut it down. As far as I know, I mean
Yeah,
it's
and
been down all
honestly,
day.
I haven't. I mean, I've been busy doing family stuff, but I haven't heard it being back. Is it back?
The last tweet I saw was from like Apex themselves, and they had mentioned we are aware of the issues and we are working on a fix. Like a very vague, like not what the issue is, not that we've been hacked. It's just
Okay, so here
we're
you go.
aware.
As of 41 minutes ago, Respawn tweeted out, "We have confirmed matchmaking has been restored. We're keeping an eye on things, but believe the issue has been resolved. Thank you for your patience." So, I mean, legit, all day long, your own game was completely on lockdown.
That sucks. Hackers are insane what they're able to do.
It
I
really,
mean,
like, don't ever underestimate them because the ones who know
no.
what they're doing are insane. It's nutty. Nutty. But you know what? And I guess what's sad is really it's all for none, right? Because it's not like they're going to be like, "Damn, you know what, guys? Maybe we should respect Titanfall community more." Let me tell you what, Titanfall community, if you ever needed like the perfect writing on the wall on how little you mean to EA, they released your game on the same day that they did Battlefield.
Yeah.
Like,
That was the end of it right there.
I mean, you didn't stand a chance out the
Yeah.
gate. I forget which Battlefield it was, but like Titanfall 2 was released on the same day as a new Battlefield game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're in
Done.
trouble.
You're
You're in
done
trouble.
from that point.
I don't blame publishers nowadays for waiting for games to
Yeah.
announce their release date so you could put yours out, even if it means you have to do it last minute. I think Halo's doing it backwards because they should be dictating their
I
release
mean, they're
date.
kind of the big dogs at this point, right? Or at least
Yeah, like
behind
that.
the hype train.
Drop yours and let everybody, work around yours. Anyways, Tim, mine comes from the beautiful land of FaZe Clan. These guys are up to no good again. Similar to their CSGO wild betting days, they have now formed themselves into another allegiance with FaZe K, Tico, I think it's Nikon, and then Jarvis, who recently just won his big little battle there in his boxing debut against TikTokers. So, anyways, these guys started up a charity Bitcoin, promoted it heavily, got obviously a lot of their fan base interested with all the craze that's going on with Bitcoin and people being able to get rich quick. Well, people were getting rich quick. Unfortunately, it was just the FaZe guys. They even had a line of code change to where they could sell off their shares immediately on the day that it opened, when initially you were not supposed to be able to do it for even up to a week. These guys are honestly trash for doing this. Like, it's just such a shitty thing to do. You threw it out there as like some children's charity organization, created this coin, built up the hype, got your followers to invest, and then you dumped minutes after you were allowed to. FaZe K has been kicked out of FaZe altogether. Tico, Nikon, and Jarvis are all suspended. Honestly, they shouldn't even have any association with Rice Gum because that piece of shit's also involved in all of this. Like, all of these guys are just, it just blows my mind. Again, FaZe is like a multi-million-dollar operation, and they have these clowns running around that, yeah, bring them some sort of clout, but give a bad look to like the industry in general. Honestly, it's just sleazy. It's just a sleazeball move, and that's all it is. And it's not the first time they've been involved. This time they had
No.
to take action
The apple doesn't
because
fall too far from the tree on this one though. Like the org, like I know I meme on them all the time, right, for being scammers, but it's really not a meme. Like FaZe Banks has said it himself. Like the early days of FaZe was propped up by betting scams that they did with CS skins, and
they made millions off that.
nothing ever came from it, and everyone just continues to pile on with the phase up and blah, blah. No. And now you have this. And I promise you this wasn't the last scam since the first one. Like I'm sure there's been scams in between, because that's what FaZe Clan is. It's who runs it. It's who's involved with it. They're just douchebags from top to bottom. I don't care what you say at this point. FaZe Clan is, like Anuj, you said it best. They are scum. And the fact that, and if you need any more proof of this, in what world could you scam it's not even like they just scammed like their own fans, which is also like the lowest you can be as a content creator, is scamming your own supporters, right? But you're going to scam them under this cloud of a charity cryptocurrency. You used charity as a way to scam people out of money. In what world does that not get you kicked out of the org, but suspended?
And the thing is, like, it just runs deep. Like, I just know, there's probably several others involved that were not maybe directly putting their money in. I mean, I just feel like it's just so many people there, and it's continuous actions like that genuinely frustrate me, and it makes it easy to knock on them. I know they're in like the freaking baller status, right? They've
Of
made it.
course.
They're at the top of the mountain. We say that every time. It's true.
They have
Like, FaZe is
celebrity
on.
backers, athletes, you
They're
name
huge.
it.
Like, they've done everything to say that they're a tier 1 org, and we give them that they are that. But it's just scummy. It's just sleazy the way they do it. To go at they make so much money. That's the frustrating part. All these guys like Tico and Nikon, these guys have been around for so long with FaZe. Like, they made so much money, and this is just another. To them, it's just another little adventure to go on, make a little bit more.
And that's because, like, look
flip
at
some
their
more
fans,
profit.
though. Their fans are legit, like, little 13-year-old kids who, as long as you can make a funny TikTok, they really don't care at what expense to that. I mean, you even have these brain-dead FaZe Clan fans defending what they did, saying, like, oh, it was so funny for the memes, and, oh, well, hey, you know what? You still gave them your money, and that's your own fault. And, again, they hit
Excuses for him.
You're making excuses for people who legit put up a fake charity to rip you off of money. Like, bro, how is this just a suspension? In any other part of life, this is jail time. Like, you scammed people out of money in the front of charity. How is this?
I wouldn't be surprised if this got looked at deeper than just these suspensions. Like, not maybe from FaZe Clan,
Like,
but
Department of Justice, stop looking at Overwatch League and look at FaZe Clan.
trust us, there's nothing going on there. Okay, go check out what's going on at FaZe. There's twice the money is getting shuffled
In fact,
around. And
Overwatch League would probably thank the Department of Justice if it found some money lying around. Like, Department of Justice is like, hey, all these teams spent like millions of dollars getting into you guys. What happened to that? And Overwatch League is like, bro, we don't even know.
Marketing.
Yeah, like, I don't. Did you see this giant ass screen that we had at like 2 finals? Yeah, that was pretty sweet. No, so the FaZe Clan, that it's unbelievable, and like I said, and people in Discord, like, all you need to know is the fact that these guys were suspended, not kicked out. One dude was kicked out.
K, yeah.
He was the scapegoat. He was the one who, landed on the knife for the others, I guess, just to have a suspension. Like, what do these guys know on the FaZe Clan ownership that they're just suspended, right? There's no effing way. And then Jarvis, what a piece of shit. What a piece of shit. Like, there's no other way that this guy, I mean, you go from crying on camera because you were banned for cheating in Fortnite. So you went on crying on camera, somehow get through that. You kind of get back on everyone's good side with the fighting thing, whatever. And now this, unbelievable how these people still, you have companies and other content creators out there, Nuge, spending millions of dollars, putting their sweat and tears into thinking of how can we become popular. And then you got these dumbass kids in FaZe Clan doing all of this, making millions of dollars, being unapologetic. And it's not, it's them, it's Syndicate, it's who's the other guy who was caught up in the scams?
Weed, OG,
Well, yeah, Josh OG,
Phantom Lord.
yeah, what's the, I don't follow any of these guys, so I forget their names. I don't even know his name because he's that little of importance to me, but he's a big COD guy, I know that. It's ridiculous. It's a shame, and we're just two boomers yelling at clouds at this point, but if you support FaZe Clan, God bless you, because you have one less brain cell than the average person. That's honestly, at this point, that's all I got to say. Back in 2015, when I was at the Columbus Major for CSGO, I felt like I was at a crossroads. I was sitting in front of the merch booth, Anuj. This is a true story. And I said, okay, Tim, this is the moment. This is the moment you pick an org, and you stick with that org. You're a Lions fan. You know how to be a diehard fan despite all odds. It was between Cloud9 and FaZe Clan at that moment. Now, I did not know all the stuff with FaZe Clan at the time. I just liked their jerseys. And I felt like God reached down into me and said, pick Cloud9, because you're going to look like a effing moron in like 6 years when FaZe Clan gets caught scamming again.
You don't want to be the idiot putting money in.
Like, God damn, FaZe Clan. Douchebags. Douche Clan. That's what they should be called. Douche Clan. Got him.
Maybe that's a shirt waiting to happen.
Yeah. Who? I don't think Alt will do that, but if any other person who makes clothes listens and they want to make a Douche Clan shirt, maybe a Fraud Clan. That'd be nice. You could do Fraud with the FaZe Clan F with their font, but saying Fraud Clan. That's not.
We might be getting there.
That's actually not a bad one.
Let's let that marinate.
That's not a bad one. That's not a bad one at all. Someone slide into my DMs for that one. All right, so there you have it. There is Yikes of the Week. Back-to-back Yikes of the Week episode. Wow. Name one other esports podcast that could do that. You can't. You can't. This is literally the only one that could do back-to-back Yikes of the Week. We can also do a good dude of the week. And this one belongs to friend of the show, Summit1G. One of the only streamers that I kind of actually watch still at a regular basis. Him and Lyric are the only two streamers that I normally watch outside of like esports events.
Yeah, so, I mean, Summit's just like a good casual watch anytime, I feel like.
Yeah, I felt like my Twitch viewing has gone down.
Mine has gone down significantly. Like, I just watch events for the most part.
Yeah.
I very, very honestly rarely watch a streamer. I'll watch events when.
Yeah, I'll watch events and then WoW. I'll watch streamers on WoW because it's Mythics and I'm a brain dead DPS player. Unless you tell me what to do, I just can't do it. It's like how many times have you told me to lust at a certain point and I'm like, yeah, you have to tell me when to do it because I will never do it on my own. But yeah, so Summit, if you guys pay attention to Summit's stream, he's been streaming. First off, one of the only streamers on Twitch that I feel like can truly just do whatever he wants and maintain viewerships. But he's been streaming Max Payne 3 speedrunning, which he's done in the past, but I feel like he's just kicked it up to another level of being like actually serious about it and learning the speedrun. And he plays on hardcore setting. First off, speedrunning is one of those things where if I could do it, I feel like that's such a awesome community. And like, I love when the awesome games do summer games done quick and autumn games done quick. Love it. The week-long charity event where they just do speedruns. It amazes me how these people can just truly master a game inside and out. Right.
Yeah.
And especially like the way Summit does it, because he does a glitchless run, which I love. Glitch runs they're fun, but it's like, you know,
it takes away something from it. I mean, it still count in that sense, but
right.
There is like a little piece of you that's like,
yeah, I like the legit glitchless
I feel a little
run.
dirty, you know?
Yeah, it's not the real speed running through the game. So anyways, though, Summit was playing Max Payne 3 the other day doing his normal runs, somehow messed around and broke the world record for Max Payne 3.
That's just crazy because obviously he's not one to like sit there and practice and practice and practice that, like he probably picked it up for a couple weeks. He's playing the game obviously before and
Yeah,
all
like I
that.
said, I
But
know like months ago. I mean, I occasionally see him on it, but never like I thought like world record level
yeah,
doing it,
and as you told me, like, well, that record will probably be broken pretty soon. Now
Yeah.
now that he's done it, if it already hasn't.
Like I'm pulling it up right now. Cuz the fact that he did hard, so he's still, and again, Max Payne 3 for the longest time was never a big speedrunning game because you can never skip cutscenes, which is always a beatdown in speedrunning games. But now they have like for the PC versions, like you can download add-ons to skip cutscenes and things like that. So, and like you said, when someone to the caliber of Summit 1G sets a world record, I'm sure there are some hoity-toity people in the speedrunning community that's like, who does this streamer think he is? Just thinks he can speedrun, right? I can promise you there are people in the speedrunning world that is saying that right now. Like this probably
But
upsets
it's cool because
them.
it gives popularity to that
Of
genre
course.
because it
And
just
that's why
brings
I think
attention
it's
to it. So
and that's why I think this is a good dude move right here. Right?
yeah,
Like first off, Summit's a good dude. Like really hard to say anything bad about him. And the fact that like this shows, practice, 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 and he got the world record by a little under like 30 seconds, give or take. So it's and if you go back and watch the video, it really does make you feel good because you can just tell like the shock on his face when he saw it in chat. People were saying he thought he was getting trolled. He looked it up. He had to walk away for a little bit. I'm sure,
that's cool.
just happy cries.
I'll have to go see the reaction video.
That's crazy. It almost makes me want to pick up again. And I've tried speedrunning Cuphead. I've tried a few other games. I don't have the patience. Like I said, you really,
It's hard. First of all, you really just have to know everything.
yeah, everything.
I'm trying to get you to learn the 8 mythics we've been doing over and over.
I
I
can't-
can't imagine trying to train a new game right now.
Sanguine Depths, I got that one. I got that one. Yeah, I can't remember dungeons in WoW. You think I'm going to learn an entire game for speedrunning? Hell no. Hell no. So, I mean, just awesome. It's awesome to see. Like I said, especially if you're a speedrunning fan like myself, it's just a really kind of cool highlight to see. And there is a small space in the esports world for speedrunners. I've even had friends outside of esports who are gamers, but I would not say esports fans. And they've even asked, like, hey, is there like speedrunning? Is that an esport? I'm like, not really. I mean, they have.
Not in the way that we think of it, but
No.
yeah, obviously there's a very competitive community out there for speedrunning. But it's not like projected in the same light to the
No.
esports community.
No, and I know like
But
some
yeah, like
orgs
speedrunning is an esport. It is. It's
just different.
yeah. It's just different. It's like comparing like football and then saying like hacky sack. Like yeah, hacky sack's a sport. It's just different, It's just like
Yeah.
it's just different.
Yeah, it's maybe if there was an Olympics for esports, you would have speedrunning somewhere in there, and
Sure, you could. I see
Games or
people
s-
running around on skis with rifles in their hand. Like you can have speed running in there. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. So it's somewhere in there. But anyways, yeah. So Max Payne 3 world record holder. Still, I'm looking at it right now. No one has beaten it. But again, I can't imagine that. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. But congratulations to Summit for setting the record, world record there. What could you? So I've often said this. The Olympics is starting here in like a couple of weeks, and I am 31 years old. Just turned 31 June 20th, and I have said this for years, forever. I have said this in news, and you know me, so you know I'm not lying when I say this. If you gave me 4 years time between now and the next Olympics, and a sponsor, like someone who is going to pay my bills, so all I can do is focus on the task at hand, I could qualify for the next Olympics.
For what category?
That's what I'm talking. That's part of the 4 years is figuring out what sport whether it be teamed or individual, what could I, and I'm not saying medal, I'm not saying winning, qualifying. What can I sneak into the Olympics for? You gave me 4 years with nothing else to do but become master at curling. I could do that. Bobsledding. I could do that.
You cannot do bobsledding. Not even
If
close.
all I had to
Not
do,
even
if all I
close.
had
You
to
would
do
die
was
before
focus,
you. No.
if all I had to do was focus on
No, I
100,
refuse to
bro.
believe.
I
This is
see.
not. This is not that bobsled movie. This is not Cool Runnings.
No. See, I think
okay?
people overhype their. It's a
You
mental
on
thing.
ice
You can get
running.
over it if you can get over your mental blocks of saying no. You know, I've watched Luca 1,000 times in the last couple of weeks. Silencio Bruno. You just got to say that. Get through those mental goblins. You could do it, and I think a lot of people could.
You could not do it.
People
You could not be a
overhype.
bobsledder.
People.
I refuse to believe
Again,
it.
maybe not bobsledding. I don't know, but something in the Olympics I could qualify
Yeah,
for.
okay, so maybe there's something in the Olympics. I
Like,
agree.
find
Maybe there's
something that
something that you could
America.
qualify for. But there's like certain things I would take out. I would take out almost 99.9% of everything in track and
First
field.
off, it would definitely be way easier with a Winter Olympics, right? Because summer is like all like, yeah, I'm not gonna.
You're not doing track and field.
No,
You're
no,
not
no.
doing swimming. You're
No.
not doing obviously any of the tier one, what we would
Team-
consider a tier one sport. Like you're not doing
Teams-
basketball.
right? Like, and team sports might be
I
more
would
difficult.
have the best chance out of both of us because I would go get dual citizenship for India.
Yeah, you could, right?
See, I would go qualify.
But then, see here, that issue though is you're competing like against a billion people to qualify.
I think I could find my way through that. Like 500,000
But
of them are below the
again,
poverty line
for
that don't have the
you-
ability to train.
I mean, India in Winter Olympics, you 100% you could qualify for that.
I could probably do like a skiing event.
Right,
It'd be all right.
because there's not a lot of winter people in India, I have to imagine. So again, if you had
No, I mean,
4 years,
there are in the north. Yeah, it would be tough. It would be so tough, though. We
I'm
should go
telling
through
you,
this one day.
we
Let's
could
make a list of
if-
all the sports.
if there's a
And-
billionaire out there listening that wants to sponsor me, I promise you, I could find something that we could qualify for the Olympics. And again, I'm 31. This is probably the last chance that I could say this. I don't know if I feel this confident at 35. But right now at 31, and I've been saying this since I've been 21, confidence is there. Confidence is not an issue with me.
Confidence has been there for the last 10 years.
Yeah, the
Just-
confidence is not the issue. It's the, I can't focus on bobsledding
I'm
and
gonna
working.
say you wouldn't be able to qualify for anything.
Anything. I think I could.
Anything.
I think I
Anything.
could. Whether it be summer or winter, that again, the research has to be done. But I think I could. I know I could. I know I could qualify.
Bring a couple to the table next time.
All right, I'll look. I mean, again, I
We had
know I
homework
could.
from last episode. What was it?
It was TV shows. It was like 2 episodes ago. Your top 3 or 5 TV shows that you could rewatch or something like that. We said Breaking Bad was in there. My other TV shows, just casually thinking off right now: Cowboy Bebop, 30
Game of
Rock.
Thrones.
30 Rock would definitely be my top 5. If you've never seen 30 Rock, that's a funny show. Cowboy Bebop. I mean, I guess that's kind of the top 3 right now that I can think of. I will have to say Friends because my wife has suckered me into. It is a funny show.
Yeah, Friends is like one of
Like-
my old. So I'd have like Friends. I'm thinking back to childhood, maybe like Saved by the Bell or even a Fresh Prince potentially. Game of Thrones. Yeah, we'll have to go back
We'll
and
have to
actually do
think.
some of these.
We'll
We
have
need
to
to write down these homework assignments so we remember to do them
we
too.
never remember. Also, never remember that we do an esports podcast where we should talk esports. We will get back to what sports I could qualify for with the Olympics because it almost upsets me that the amount of doubt that I get fuels me because I could do it.
I just don't see it. I
I
just
could
don't see
do
it
it.
happening.
If any, and that's not just I believe in a lot.
Bring them to the table.
And I
Bring
believe in
them
a
to the
lot of
table.
people. Like, I think a lot of people could qualify for the Olympics if all you had to do was focus on that only. You have a sponsor to pay for your food, you don't have to worry about life issues. All you have to do.
The good thing is the Olympics are right around the corner, so we're gonna get to watch a bunch of events that are like random ass events, and I'll let you know, like, okay, if I gave Tim 4 years to do this, could he be one of the best 2 or 3 in the world
Just
at this one
qualify.
thing?
Qualify. That's it.
Oh, yeah, best, so it'd be like one of the
Oh,
best
of
in the world,
course. Yeah.
and then
The best for your
top 2 or 3
country, right?
in your own country to do it.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm going to medal, right? Let's be realistic here. Qualify, I think I could make it happen. I know I could. Not without a doubt. Without a doubt. All right, so let's get into some Valorant Champions Tour 2021 North America Stage 3 Challengers 1 as we are heading into the main stage. Let's focus on the NA side right now because obviously it is America's birthday, Anuj. And if anything is true, on this 4th of July, it's every other country does not exist. So let's focus on NA. Looking here, first off, looking at the 8 that are opening or have moved on from the open qualifiers. You have Sentinels, XSET, Team Envy, 100 Thieves, Version 1, Gen G, Rise, and Kansas City Pioneers.
All obvious picks, honestly.
Give me 30 seconds on the Kansas City Pioneers.
Yeah, they are a high school team. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
They do
They have
sound like a high
JMO.
school
I mean,
team.
they have. That's the same guy who I think it is. Yeah, I couldn't tell you a damn thing about him. I couldn't tell you one thing about him, honestly. And it's nice that there are a couple of other like new names to this group, right? Like, I mean, I think XSET's obviously done this a little bit. We've seen some big wins from them as of late, kind of leading into the end of the last challenger stages and all that we had for the first go around. Gen G, obviously finding their way into the playoffs here when they were kind of one of those teams that we thought, oh, they just barely missed the cut, and they looked really good. So for them to kind of rebound and make it through, and then Rise, Rise is kind of the same thing. Like Shanks has managed to avoid ESIC better than anybody I can imagine at this point, and has stuck around and bounced around, but the guy continues to do great when he's playing. They got a kind of a good CS backed team, I guess you could say there. So the rest are like the ones that we expect, right? Sentinels, Envy, 100 Thieves. Even version 1 with the stand-in, that was the only kind of up in the air thing with them. But we got a good list of challengers here, and for Kansas City Pioneers, this is going to be an opportunity for them to stand out, in this crowd. Like they're already obviously are making a name for themselves, but now you don't want to get blown out 2-0, 2-0 in the playoffs. That's also not going to look good, and you kind of get forgotten about quickly even there.
One team that I am happy to see here, because it's one team that, for me personally, might be weird to say, but version 1 had some question marks. Obviously, this isn't the same roster that we saw at the in Iceland, as they've had to make substitutions and everything there because of suspensions. And even when they made it to Iceland, remember the narrative going in was like, oh, version 1 kind of snuck in, right? Like they were not expected to be the number 2 NA team going there.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, for me, that question mark of, okay, they have a lot of pressure, even more than Sentinels, right? Sentinels are defending champs, but they are non-questionable defending champs, right? Like no one questions that they are still the number 1 team in the world. So I don't think there's, and if anything, less pressure to them because this is actually their roster now, where before they were kind of playing with the question mark of, ooh, will Tens be here? What's happening with Sinatra?
And they've already qualified for the last stage of this event.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're already in the big show. So for them, this is all just icing on the cake and continuing your dominance. That's what they're playing for, is just to continue to assert their dominance.
But for version 1, I felt like there's a lot of pressure going into it. So to see them at least make it this far. Now, again, this isn't getting them into the Challengers playoffs. Any team here has made it to Challengers 2 already, right?
Yeah.
Past the open qualifiers and such. But only the top 4 here makes it to the Challengers playoff, where the top 4 from Challengers 1 and 2 compete, right? So there's still a chance for these teams to kind of goof in the end. But again, you're looking at guys, though, other teams out there. Now, version 1 is playing 100 Thieves round 1, so that will be interesting, but this is double elimination. But just getting here, I think, speaks a lot of volume, because you see some of the teams that are not here, Anuj, and it does kind of raise some eyebrows. As we talked last episode in our preview for kind of getting ready for this next stage, guys you don't see. Right off the bat, TSM. Where's TSM in this list? They actually lost to Noble, I believe, in the top 32 round, or they might have even lost prior to that. No, yeah, in the top 32.
It was round of 32, and when you want to talk about one of the weirder series, because that had a close first game. I think game 2 went to TSM, and that was a 13-1 win. And then when it's tied 1-1, game 3 went 13-2 to Noble to knock them out of the event. And yeah, that it's pretty shocking to go out that way. TSM continues to kind of be in a little bit of a free fall here. Not even making it to the point where you're losing to like 100 Thieves or something like that, or a tough matchup. Like, you should be beating teams like Noble, and for them that's got to be super worrisome. I mean, I think another team that kind of bit it a little tough here, and I'm trying to actually pull it up because I just had them on my list. T1, T1 I thought did such a good, like, it had such a good showing, kind of the opposite feeling of, if I were T1, I would feel polar opposite of how TSM feels right now. Because TSM, you got knocked out, you're going to feel like crap, you continue to disappoint, and it's been a consistent. With T1, it's a little bit more of like a rebound phase that they're in, and this was an opportunity to test themselves. They beat the teams they were supposed to beat, and then they lost to Envy 2-1. Now, granted, that last game was a 13-0, so walking out on a 13-0 is going to be super demoralizing. But look, you took a game off of Envy, arguably one of the best teams in Valorant right now. Not just NA, just one of the best teams in Valorant right now. They're a consistent contender in NA and in every single event. So to lose to them and still at least take a map off of them, again, I know that 13-0 hurts, but I would be feeling like, if I'm T1, I'm feeling okay. Like, hey, this was a good first showing. Curry at the helm as the IGL, Brax back on the roster. This was all just announced, so feel a little better for them.
Yeah, I'd say the fact that you were able to at least make it to the round of 16 for T1. If I was a T1 fan, that's what my expectations would have been. Like, qualified would have been, the icing on the cake to say that you made it that far. But for T1, I would say this is an okay spot with a new roster.
And look, they went up against Envy. Look at some of the other matchups that it could have been. It could have been Sonics. It could have been Dark Zero. It could have been Noble. It could have been
literally any other team.
Yeah, Vertioso. It could have been Kansas City. Like, there's so many teams that they could have got matched up against to where they would have been in the playoff stage, or whatever, the main event stage. So, tough matchup. That's going to happen until you are coming in as a higher ranked team in these brackets, and then you have the chance to play some of the lower end teams as you advance through. But yeah, again, just a different feeling. And I think right there in the middle of both of these guys is FaZe Clan, right? Like, I think with FaZe Clan, it's look, we hate you for several reasons. I don't hate you for Valorant.
I don't hate the players. Like, let's make one thing clear. Like, FaZe...
Well, I'm talking about FaZe in general.
Fraud Clan, I hate. The players in FaZe, I feel bad for at this point, because all they want to do is play video games professional, and they have these joke of an org behind them. So, there's that.
Yeah, and for them, them getting knocked out, like, again, I said this even when they made that run in VCT. I forgot which event it was, which part of the event it was, but they were really hot at one point. I still kind of felt like I found it hard to still buy into them. And I still feel that way even now, like they have some good talent on that team. I think they're still honestly 1 to 2 changes away from being a hyper competitive team consistently, but them getting upset doesn't necessarily surprise me. And honestly, I think they probably would have lost to Xset, should they have advanced when they did there. So I think we have an exciting main event coming up. Like this is I think we all have a pretty good idea of who the four will be, or who we maybe want to at least see as the four. I think Sentinels is obviously a gimme, and I think it's almost safe to say that Envy is probably another one of the gimmies to get through. They don't drop back-to-back series, so even if they drop one, they'll still have a chance in lowers to make it far enough through. So I'm excited for this. Version 100 Thieves, tough first round matchup with Version 1. If I were them, I wouldn't. Obviously, they expect to win, but as a fan, I'd be like, if we lost 100 Thieves with the stand-in, as long as we make it a good game, I would be happy there, and they can maybe push through lowers there. But for 100 Thieves, this feels like a must-win in that matchup, just because I expect them to start like producing with the players that they have. They have some of the biggest name talent in the game on their team, with Hiko, Nitro, Steel, Ethan coming over from Evil Geniuses. Like these guys are stacked with talent and, personalities. And so looking for them to kind of make that jump, guarantee themselves a playoff spot, and hopefully see them representing us in some way further down the line also.
And dare I say, even on paper, like even just comparing them to Sentinels, names alone. Don't look at stats, obviously, because Sentinels is over the top on that one. But just looking at the names, especially if you're coming from the CS world, like 100 Thieves almost might be like, you could almost look at them and be like, why aren't they number one? Like just saying those names out loud.
If they were playing CS, 100 Thieves would beat Sentinels probably 16-3, 16-4. Like that would be the kind of difference in terms of CS talent to Valorant talent, right? Like Sentinels, although they have a lot of former Counter-Strike players, there's a difference. You have 100 Thieves who's stacked with tier 1 Counter-Strike players and Sentinels who's stacked with tier 2 Counter-Strike players. But you put them in Valorant, and it is the opposite. I mean, there isn't even a tier. There is just an S tier for Sentinels right now. And then there's a group of other people, well below them. But Sentinels is in a league of their own at the moment.
So these matches kick off when? Probably in the next couple of days. July 8th through the 11th. So that would mean this weekend starting Thursday through Sunday, you have the main event, again, double elimination, which we've seen, even though we've even kind of said it, right? Where it's like, man, you have so many chances to try and qualify and kind of make up for past mistakes. Also helps, though, for some of these teams to get in early, qualify for the playoffs. Don't worry about challengers 2 per se. If you're already in the playoffs, mentally take that breather. And you know what? Maybe not worry about a roster change, because as we've seen with this VCT setup, and we've said it 1,000 times, it allows for such little wiggle room with these rosters. You make a roster move, like already, I can promise you, at least people on Twitter, right, and Reddit, which take anything they say with a grain of salt, it's like people are looking at TSM going, oh, another early bounce, right? Another early bounce for TSM. Are we right back where we were before? I don't know, right? And people are, that's just the type of, I guess, chatter and consequence that you kind of have to always deal with these VCT schedules, right? It's just part of the nature of the beast. But either way, we'll have to wait for Challengers 2 to see TSM, T1, handful of other rosters. But we got Challengers 1 main event of the Valorant Champions Tour 2021 North America Stage 3 Challengers 1. Maybe we'll, if Riot wants to hire us, we'll think of a better name. But for now, that's it. All right. Well, there you have it for some VCT to get ready to. Let's talk about some e-news. But before we do that, let me tell you about Philly Esports. You can go to phillyesports.net right now. It is not too late to sign up for their first Summer Series event, which is, as I'm pulling it up right now, Call of Duty Cold War 4v4 starts up on July 10th for their first series. Series number 2, July 18th. Anuj, the top teams from both of those series, I believe it's like the top 2 or 4 teams from each of those events, move on to the championship on July 31st. So much like VCT, you get more than one chance. Sign up there. Sign-ups are free throughout their summer event between Call of Duty, Rocket League, and Valorant, all in respective of the future coming months. $30,000 will be given out in prize pool for free to sign up tournaments. If you even have 1% amount of confidence that I do of qualifying for the Olympics, you'd be a damn fool for not signing up for these tournaments. Okay? You have nothing to lose. I have everything. My dignity, my respect, even though it's not even an issue because I would qualify for the Olympics, much like how I believe you stand a chance at winning this $30,000. So go ahead, phillyesports.net, sign up right now. And let's get into some e-news. Light e-news on this holiday. CSGO in the Star Ladder CIS RMR event, Simple almost breaks a record. Not quite, but almost. Within 25 rounds versus Spirit, Anuj, he dropped 42 kills. To do the math, that's in regulation. That is not overtime.
That is just insane. I mean, it's godlike. It's why he's the best in the world, because you don't see numbers like that. You really don't. I can't even.
Maybe in a silver match. with
I don't even know. I mean, that's just crazy.
Like if that's
multi-killing every single round.
If you get 42 kills in a regulation match in MM, I'm reporting your ass.
Yeah. 100%. Even if it went the full 30.
Like if Spirit reported Simple, I would get it. I would understand. I wouldn't even make fun of him for it.
Like I would start to question life too at that point.
For real. In other news, but is absolutely not news, HLTV reports Zonic, head coach of Astralis, is pondering if he might leave the team once his contract expires. Okay. I think,
we'll talk about it if and when he does it.
Right. Like, to me, that's the biggest non-news ever.
I don't think he's coming back, but...
No, I guess if you want to spend 30 seconds talking about it, as I said in the pre-show, his stock is still high. Astralis stock is dropping, so he needs to...
Free falling.
Yeah. So if anything, this would be his time. Like, hey, break out, get into another bigger org, and kind of save face if the Astralis one crashes and burns. Cologne, we've talked about in previous episodes, so go check those out if you want a decent preview. But Cologne is starting up here in just a couple of days on the 6th, so mark your calendars. We have Counter-Strike LAN is back. In Dota 2 news, Dota fans were complaining over the latest Battle Pass, mainly because there were some fan-voted items that Valve put up in a poll. And then those fan-voted items were put into the Battle Pass, but, kind of deeper into it. So people are like, bro.
How are we going to get that crap?
Right, I was kind of expecting if I was voting for this, I stood a chance to get it. Anuj, though, the reason I bring this up is because in this Battle Pass, there have been people already spending thousands of dollars. In fact, a rough estimate, a guy in China has spent over $7,000 upgrading this Battle Pass.
And that's exactly why they do it.
840,000 Battle Passes have been purchased so far. And
that's from when these reports came out, so chances are they've eclipsed the 900k mark 100%. At this point.
And so anytime, just remember, when you're bitching and moaning about Battle Passes, which, hey, I am right there with you, right? All these cheap-ass money grab content that games do nowadays. Just know They're just enjoy it, right? It's the whole people who say, hey, don't pre-order games because what if they suck? You're giving into it, so I'm not going to pre-order and make a stand. Dude, just pre-order it, get the pre-order bonus, and enjoy it while you can, because this is why developers do battle passes.
I mean, this is exactly it.
Unreal.
And I can't blame them.
I want to throw up when I spend $15 on a battle pass, let alone 7,000.
Like, can you imagine?
That
Kid did
dude's
that.
not married.
No, not at all.
He is not married. In other news, Anuj.
Yeah, so this is actually kind of cool. I just wanted to share this website that I got linked to me earlier today. This website that we'll post on our Twitter is for you WoW heads out there. This guy created basically a little mini game with all the raid bosses. It teaches you all the mechanics flawlessly in a fun way to learn it. And for somebody like Tim, who has trouble remembering the mechanics, awesome way to learn. I just wanted to highlight what he is providing to the community. You know, I don't care about the game necessarily in this case. Like, it's WoW, so I enjoy it, I play it. So this is nice even for me on a personal level. But I just wanted to share this because I honestly thought it was just a fascinating thing that he put together, and it was even fun as just a mini game. So if you just wanted to try it out, even if you don't play WoW, you can feel free to check out the link. But wanted to highlight and show support for the work that he's doing for his community. That's cool.
Does he have one for Mythic dungeons? 'Cause that's what I need. That
is what you need.
So it is what it is. There are people in this world that will remember dungeon mechanics, and then there are people like me who will not. And that's okay. That is okay, because I will be too busy qualifying for the Olympics to worry about mythic mechanics here. So there you have it. Episode 340. It's done. It's in the books. Thank you all for listening. If you're live on Twitch and or YouTube, thank you. If you are skipping around on the podcast, love you all the same. Remember to check us out on Twitter at The Center Ring. Join our Discord. Be aware of whenever we decide to do a show or not do a show. Community nights, anything like that, that's all in our Discord as well. Be sure we will be back
We'll be back in a few days.
Wednesday, everything like that. Anuj, is there anything else you'd like to talk about? Would you like to tell us your life story?
Good show. Feels like Groundhog Day around here, you know?
All right. That's a good one. All right, everyone, love your face. Follow us on Twitter at The Center Ring, and we'll see you next time on Wednesday. Peace out. Love you. Bye.
Love you guys.
All right, gonna kill the stream.
You know when it'll be a quick one? Like, you just know. Like, I'm not gonna have to try very hard for this. Like, this is all gonna just happen quick. I'll be back in a few minutes.
All right, killing the stream, everyone in chat. Love you. Bye.
Love you guys. I'll get in Mumble or something here in like 5-10 minutes.
All right, cool.